So for you, the people that are just joining or not familiar with the Ashravakra Gita, this is Baba's commentary, translation and commentary on that. It's a classic Advaita Vedanta text, very concise, very boiled down to the essential points, not a lot of extra verbiage in there. So Baba's going to explain it, help us understand it better. Okay, chapter 2, verse 1. This is Janaka, King Janaka, speaking to his guru, Ashravakra. I am spotless, peace, consciousness, beyond nature. All this long time I have been just simply fooled by this illusion. Verse 2, I alone illuminate this body and the whole universe. Thus the whole universe is mine, or nothing is. So Baba, in your comments, in your commentary, you start to talk about faith and devotion in the master, the strength of attention as important, for self-realization. These are things other than just the meditation to stop the mind. And also, you're saying that it's by listening to these sutras, this truth, that it helped Janaka obtain silence or stillness of his consciousness and supreme peace. So how do faith and devotion, strength of attention, and listening to truth, these are things that benefit us, help us on self-realization, in addition to the meditation, the actual practice of silencing the mind?
Very true. If we try to understand these two words, faith and devotion, both, one gives a self-confidence, making you serious in your efforts and approach. And the devotion gives you determination, discipline, and totally focused attempt to undertake the sadhana as advocated by the Guru. So that is how a faith and devotion are taught. They go together. So like if you have faith in the master, you will be serious. You won't take things casually, and you will follow the master's teachings. You will listen to the master's teaching, and whatever sutras master gives, like exercises, like it's a meditation, this is how you meditate. You will simply follow those instructions. And when you are following means you are devoted. That's why you are following. You are devoted to the master. So then you become serious when the master says that you do like this. So if you are not devoted, you don't have faith, then you lose confidence and you lose any reverence to the master's teachings also. You are likely to take up things casually. Like in Ashtavakra Samhita also, earlier means before Ashtavakra actually came to Janaka, so many other scholars or self-realized, whoever was there, they all had approached after King Janaka announced that if anybody help me to get self-realized in the moment of back, like on the horseback, always one leg you keep on the saddle and put your right leg again onto the horse other side, and you get seated on the horseback. Within that moment, if anybody can give. So people came and tried their best by giving teachings, by giving lectures and upadeshas, talks, everything. So all of them failed because at that time the student was also not ready. He didn't have 100% faith. He still had the ego that he was an emperor. So thus he was not paying full attention of what the teachers were saying. So thus he failed to adopt such methods and failed to do any sadhana. So the things were not happening at all. So that is one reason when Ashtavakra came and after King Janaka said, do you know the challenge that you have to give me self-realization or help me to achieve self-realization in that moment of sitting on the horseback? Ashtavakra said, no problem, that is no problem, that is simple. But I too have some conditions, 3 conditions. First, you come down the throne and I will be the emperor and you become my servant. If this is possible for you, tell me. Then the King Janaka understands this point, so he comes down. So thus, he had developed a faith in the master. Okay, whatever this master is telling that I should come down the throne, it has some meaning. So let me go down. He comes down. The second one, you just follow me wherever I go and listen to me whatever I have to say. So like that, he sits on the horseback, asks King Janaka to hold the saddle and take him along. As he went on, Ashtavakra went on talking. Now you pay attention. This is the next command. You have to listen to me. If you don't listen to me, it's not my problem to give you self-realization. So these conditions, so this is very much necessary. I hope you all understand. If a student doesn't pay attention when the master is giving you teachings, it won't go to your head. You will never understand what the master is teaching. You will take it casually. So you lose faith, you lose confidence, and you lose seriousness, and you lose reverence to the master. Thus, reverence to the master means you lose devotion to the master. Oh, this master is incapable of giving us any self-realization. So that is why faith and devotion are so important. If I will dedicate my time and energy to teach you all, I am dedicating, taking out precious time of mine to come and sit here at this late hour of night to give you instructions, to answer the questions so that you can understand. In the same way, you all also would have taken out time. That time that you would have taken out must be out of total reverence and devotion to the master. That is very important. Then you would listen. Otherwise, you will be casual when I am answering this question. It is not just for Agastya who has asked the question. He might have already listened to my these teachings and he might have achieved and he must be knowing. But this question is being asked on all your behalf. So you all have to listen when I am answering. This is for all of you. That is the devotion. If you have devotion, you will be serious. You will have reverence to me also. Then you will pay attention. So that is why both the devotion and faith go together. If you have faith, you will have confidence that you can do it. Otherwise, you will always be depressed. Oh, Master, I don't know how to do it. Can you give it to me? A self-realization, nobody has given it to anybody in this world, in this creation. Master gives a teaching. As a torch bearer, he gives clues. He leads you. He can inspire you. He can hold your fingers, but it is you who has to get up and start walking. It is you who have to sit for meditation and following the instructions with total faith and devotion. Just watch in between eyebrows. That point you have to catch. You have to understand. So that's what the faith and devotion that we are talking, which are very necessary.
Bob, I'd like to add, that the faith and devotion, it's not for your benefit, it's for our benefit.
Yes.
Um, uh, yeah, the emperor there. That I guess we're all the emperor of our own world. That ego, which doesn't want to surrender its position.
Yeah. We saw many such people, VIPs, coming to our master, sitting with him, holding their own egos of their status, whether they were officers or they were anything else. So they all failed to learn what Swamiji wanted to pay, what Swamiji told them about meditation. They all wanted Swamiji to endorse what they wanted to. No, that was all. Whatever they could know, they wanted it to be endorsed by the Guru. But things doesn't work. Then you lose the vital self-realization, that devotion and faith. That is important.
Baba, in your commentary to the verse 1 and 2, you said all imaginations receded. It had regained pure consciousness, the mind. Janaka had realized that though all the universe is within me, nothing is really mine as the real self. What's that mean? Realize though all the universe is within me, nothing is really mine as the
You
real
see,
self.
for example, now I can talk about the truth, but you have to observe it is in front of you. Like first point, you always get to hear the teacher says, "Ki, it is all pervaded." Then, if you are a student with total devotion and seriousness of reverence, then you will quickly understand, oh, this is what is all pervaded. Earth is not all pervaded, sun is not all pervaded, any matter is not all pervaded, but space is all pervaded. Just like you realize quickly. Then I tell that truth exists in itself. It doesn't need anything else for its existence. So that's how the master teaches. And if the student is totally observant, he catches how it is this space which exists in itself. And this space is pure. Gagana Sadrusham in the Guru Gita shloka every day when we chant to wake up all of you, the yogi's consciousness is Gagana Sadrusham is as pure as the space. Space is the purest. Nothing can, no dust and nothing can make it impure. So that is the supreme consciousness. So like this, when Ashtavakra also went on teaching during the sojourn, so then he got the point. Janaka got the point. He realized, like every time answering a question during my teaching, hundreds of times I have told about the consciousness of existence that is within you, in the midst of millions of thoughts. It is there. So if only you could get rid of the thoughts, you would have easily observed, ah, this is it. This is what Babaji has been saying as consciousness of existence. Like that, Janaka was ripe and he paid attention and he listened to the master and he had realized that's what he is mentioning here. I am that purest form, pure as that sky, example giving. So, like that, he realized in theory. Then finally, when he just became quiet by the order of the master, mentally he became quiet, he became totally realized. Now, like when we teach like this, if you are observant, theoretically you might understand, but then you have to make yourself effortlessly abiding in that truth. That's when you are able, you meditate, then you are able to achieve that. So that's what here Janaka saying these things means the conversation between the master Ashtavakra and the student Janaka that went on. Ashtavakra went on either through answering the question of Janaka or through his own teachings. Then Janaka had paid attention, thorough attention. He had observed. Thus, he could absorb the truth of teaching of the master, and he had become aware of what the truth is. But then finally, he achieved that truth and abided in the truth by himself, becoming quiet. When the master finally said, "Quiet, stop." So that was quite easy for him. So once you all understand what I am trying to convey of consciousness of existence and what just watch means, then when I instruct, gently close your eyes and just watch in between eyebrows, concentrating your mind and sight. And you would have achieved that samadhi if only if you are observant. Just watch. Oh, that's what here Ashtavakra and Janaka meaning this sentence.
So, Baba, when he said just be quiet, he didn't mean stop moving around and stop talking. He meant mentally become silent, right?
Mentally is more important. Yes.
I mean, I could sit here all day for probably the rest of my life.
Mind, if the mind is active, then you are active.
Right. It's hard to stop the mind. Okay, verse 3. As my consciousness has given up the idea of the universe as mine and the body as me, my total attention is on the awareness of existence, which is supreme consciousness and peace. How contented I am, and there is no need of anything. What a secret wisdom the Master has given me.
You see, now I'll comment on these lines. Like when 100 times I talked to Janaka, same thing, giving you the clue openly, without any secret, straightforward, transparently. I have been giving this clue to you all. Apart from it is all pervaded, it exists in itself. It is pure consciousness. It is pure. So when you don't make any judgment, when you don't think, when you don't analyze, it is that truth, that consciousness of existence. So while listening to me talking like this, along with that, if your mind can picturize what it is, then it would be awesome. This is what Babaji is telling. This consciousness of existence is what Babaji is telling. Amazing. Like that, when you compare also, then slowly your consciousness shifts from the body to that truth. Same way it happened to Janaka. Janaka was ripe by then, the ripe student, a worthy student for Ashtavakra. That's what Ashtavakra wanted Janaka to be. When he asked, Janaka accepted. So this is what a master wants always. More than anything, I need you to pay attention. I need your... Doesn't mean that you have to press all the time. No. Pay attention to what I have to say. You ask a question, and when I'm answering, pay attention to that answer. If you don't pay attention to the answer, if you are paying attention to the imaginations that are in your mind, 100,000 times you ask the question and 100,000 times I answer, it won't go to your head. So that's what the importance of devotion. That's what the thing is here. When the student pays attention, he is able to become aware. This is it. Like in any school also, college also, when you have gone academically in a mathematics class or engineering class, anything, when the teacher is teaching, so all those students who would have paid attention, they would have quickly got the clue of the formula that the master is teaching. Those who wouldn't have been able to pay attention, they wouldn't have been able to learn anything. Simply the master was something he was talking, giving lecture. The student did not absorb anything. The same way here also, this is the most important thing that the master wants is your attention, your devotion, your faith. That is all what I want. If it is there, my teaching will be worthy. And you will be a worthy student, a worthy disciple. That is why a guru disciple relationship is recommended. This is how a guru disciple relationship goes. We had that faith and devotion to the master. Whenever he came to Dehradun ashram, I did not have anything to convey to him. I did not have any problem that I wanted him to sort out. I did not have any complaint to give him. Instead, I just waited all the day, all the time that I was with him. Any moment, some truth might come out of his mouth, something about the philosophy, some teaching might come out, some clue might come out. Attentive, fully. That used to come out. We got it. We caught it. Even now it's ringing in my ears. Spoke about the faith. Like one sentence he said, if you have the faith in your Guru, the Guru will have to bless you. You understand this language of mine, English. If you have faith in the Guru has no other choice. He will have to bless. What does that mean? If you have faith, the grace automatically descends on you. The Guru doesn't mean this physical body sitting here. The Guru is all pervaded. The Guru is within you. The Guru is everywhere. That grace descends upon you from that source, that ultimate truth, automatically when you have faith. That's what the Master tries to teach. Like that, he spoke many things, many wonderful things about ultimate truth, about meditation, about what you have to do, how the silence you have to achieve. You have to just watch these things he taught. Anything might appear. He used to say, when you do tapas, a manifestation of angel or angel might appear, but you don't react. Just think. That's all he used to teach. You got the meaning. If anybody comes standing, let anybody come standing. Let any Tom Cruise, Dick and Harry come and stand of us. We don't get attract no comments. We don't fall mentally. We don't get excited. We don't get frightened. That is what is keeping quiet and just watching. That's what is tapas and meditation. Like this one sentence the master said, and we understood and we got it, got the clue. That's what is necessary for a student. That is what is guru disciple. Nowadays, people keep doubting, is it necessary that somebody as a guru, or can we get it without it also? And then they suddenly tell, "Okay, I think this thing has become awakened." They don't know what awakening, and they claim that they have become awakened. You have not even poured one bucket of water on your head. You have not used any soap, and you claim that you had a beautiful shower.
So Baba, that spontaneously the grace comes. It's not something the guru has to say, I'm going to send grace to you now, or yes, I'm going to bless you, with the faith, and it
It doesn't happen
automatically
that
comes.
it doesn't happen that I hold the cell phone, I'm sending you my grace. It doesn't happen like that.
I remember one time you
Spontaneous.
there was somebody asked you, if I fell off a cliff and was hanging by my fingertips and I called to you, would you come and save me? And Baba said, and you said, if you had enough faith, a hand would reach down to you or something, you'd be saved. But you said, but it's not what you're thinking. It's an automatic divine activity. It's much bigger. The guru is divine, the grace is divine, and it's your own connection and faith that brings that grace to you.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
It's such a bigger thing. We want to limit all that down into one person or one prayer or something like that when it's infinite.
Long time devotional practice gives you that faith. Then you hold on to that one, and the Guru will bless you. It will be automatic.
Baba, related to that, I know probably a lot of us that have been doing this a long time, the just whatever you think, it just manifests. I mean, you don't even ask for it. You just have an idea and then it appears. I mean, it could be physical manifestation, it could be mental, it could be a situation, it could be anything. But I guess it was always doing that, or maybe not. But that's another quality. It's selfless. When you ask for something, then divine just seems to give it to you automatically, instantly in most cases.
That's why, if you all remember, I have told Swamiji, my Guru, used to tell, if you ask, you will end up asking only a small chocolate. That is all your imagination. You don't know the bigger cause, the bigger thing, larger cause. You don't know that. You don't know how to ask that because you don't know. You know only the chocolate. You don't know the supermarket. God wants to give you supermarket. Let him give on his own whatever he wants to give. Then see the beauty of it when he gives you that.
Okay, Baba, verse 4. Just as the waves and bubbles are not different from the water of which they're made, the objects of the mind are not different from the mind. This universe is not different from the self. Would you explain that?
Exactly. You all, the clue is mind, your own mind. So many things are in your mind. A world is there, characters are there, stories are there, but they are all within your mind, not outside your mind. If it was outside your mind, outside your physical body, outside your head, of what you are thinking, everybody else also would have watched. Everybody would have watched each other's thinking. That doesn't happen in truth. Nobody can watch the other's thinking. Right? That is why everything is inside the mind, in the mind. Because it is in the mind, the raw material for all such appearance is mind. Without a raw material, nothing can be produced at all. The same thing in Upanishad also it talks. In Katha Upanishad, Yamadharma Raja teaching Nachiketa, when the divine wanted to create, other than divine, nothing else existed at all. So he could not use anything else as raw material. So out of himself, though here we use the word himself, don't imagine God to be a human being type of manifested personality. It's all pervaded, infinite. Just for sake of understanding we are using. He created the creation out of himself. Means the divine is the raw material for this universe. This universe is just within that truth. That's why when truth expands, then the universe expands. Not that universe expands and then the truth expands. It is wrong. Actual truth is when the truth expands, along with that universe also expands. When your mind spins and expands, the imagination also expands, your world also expands.
So his consciousness is the truth, and as that expands, then your universe expands, your worlds expand. Huh.
So then you make your consciousness quiet, everything becomes quiet and disappears, dissolves. It's all quietness. When the consciousness spins again and the dancing starts of the world, of the universe, of the creation.
Thank you, Baba. Verse 5. On examination, a cloth is found to be only thread. In the same way, on a close examination, the universe is actually nothing but the self. Sugar made from sugar cane juice is entirely pervaded by that juice. In the same way, this universe produced in the self is permeated entirely within and without by the self.
You see, one simple example I give. When you observe the universe, it is within the space. Only the space can be beyond the universe and nothing else. No other visible larger than the universe is there other than space. So that's why universe is from the space only, in the space only, as the space. The space is the creator of the universe. And the space is not just space as we all imagine, as just not just a wide place. It is supreme consciousness. This you experience when you overcome all imaginations in your mind, and when that mind becomes pure consciousness and it merges with its higher consciousness, then this awareness of experience happens. Just when we talk of the theory, it may not occur to you, but if you are paying full attention and if you can see through the logic also, then also you can become aware. That's what the conversation between Ashtavakra and Janaka. Janaka had attained such amazing intelligence also. Intelligence of observation, intelligence of understanding capability had grown enormously in him. So that is how. Here also talk. It's a logic we talk. Only the space is larger than the universe. And nothing else is larger than the universe. Universe is larger, but space is much more larger. And there is nothing beyond space. That's what Lord Shiva asked Adi Shankara. If beyond this Brahmanda, the space, Brahmanda means the absolute, which is beyond all imaginations. If there is anything beyond, any place beyond this space, show me, I will go away. In the same space, you and me both exist. Where will you go? Where will I go? We have to exist in this home only. On this earth only we have to exist. Where will you go? Where will I go? If you ask you go away from the world, that's a different thing. One day the body dies. But if the body dies, what is the guarantee that that soul will not come back with another body? So like this, if you understand the theory also, you can become aware of the truth somewhat. And then the sadhana becomes so easy. You will understand this is all what I need to become quiet. It is me who is making all noises. I have to become quiet. Then sadhana becomes very simple and easy.
Thank you, Baba. I'll read your commentary to question 5 and 6. When we look at the cloth, seldom do we get to remember or see the thread through which the cloth has come into existence. In the same way, when we see this universe, seldom do we remember or visualize the self that is supreme consciousness. When the mind sees objects in it, it does not get to see itself and forgets the fact that those objects are in the mind due to imaginations of the mind and nothing but the mind. As the thread in a cloth is invisible, so the self is in the universe is invisible to the ordinary eye. In the same way, until you have the knowledge awareness of the self, you cannot see that this universe is come out of the self only.
You see, from our childhood, somebody who did not have the proper knowledge about the space just told space is a wide place. And we all took it in good faith. Then we all also went on teaching this space is a wide place. So none of us actually knew or know what this space is. Without knowing, we are claiming and insisting and insisting. This is it. So that is how for an ordinary eye, this is just a wide place. A knowledgeable eye, the one who would have gained a realization, experienced the truth of consciousness of existence, which is infinite. You go introvert, you clear all your thoughts and visions in your mind, and then when you of existence, it has no form, it has no color, it doesn't seems to be there, yet it is there. That is how you will be able to make out this space is not ordinary wide place. It is the ultimate truth. It is holding the universe. Universe is not holding the space. You remove the universe, I will show the space is there. But you try to remove the space, you bring any object, anything, any bucket, any drum, any holder, try to hold the space, try to throw it here and there, like you throw a ball. You can throw a human being, you can kick a football, but you try to kick the space, you get kicked.
Baba, I think you're already doing it, but how does a self-realized person see the world then? Do they see it as the space? What's predominant in their consciousness, and how do they see the world?
A little bit of clue I will give. You are watching a movie. While watching, you are not getting carried away emotionally with the movie. You are very well aware that you are just sitting and you are enjoying. You know the acting is happening on the movie, and you know how the direction has been given, how the cameraman has captured that actions. All these things you will understand, you know. So you are very well aware that is only a dramatized action that has been filmed and projected here. So then you are not getting carried away by that movie as a serious a reality, just like a vague dream. That is why a yogi is also known as a witness. He's watching this world because the body is there, eyes are there, this physical eyes, through the eyes, the self is watching, but is very well aware that this is not a serious entity, this is not a permanent entity. We don't have to mentally so much bother as we used to bother. We don't have to mentally worry. We will attend to everything. If somebody is hungry, we will feed. If our body is hungry, we will feed. If somebody tries to attack this body, we will defend. Everything we will do, but mentally, we never get carried away. Mentally, I never lose my peace. always at peace, because nothing is there actually for me except the self, myself, that self.
So that consciousness of existence is yourself, and it's not a personal thing. And all this is just in your witness to everything that's happening within that consciousness. Is that correct?
Yes,
Now,
everything is within that consciousness.
and how about the things that appear within the consciousness? Because ultimately, the waves and the droplets and the bubbles, they're also part of that ocean of consciousness. So, do you see also for example, our bodies and this physical universe or celestial world? Do you see those also as yourself? Is there only the self, or how's that experience?
Yeah, it's only the self, because there is no judgment, no analyzations, nothing. It is not recognized. The picture as it is means, if everybody might be identifying a picture as this personality, that personality, but we don't simply get carried away by that identification, because we have experienced the self, we just get to see the self. Our attention is on the space, that is the self. So always it is like that only. So, though if somebody scolds me, I might defend. Somebody tries to interfere in my work, I might scold. But actually, I'm not scolding anybody.
Baba,
My
by not
pure consciousness doesn't hurt anybody actually. It will benefit even if I scold somebody, they will be blessed by the divinity.
so by not carried away, you mean that there's nothing that can happen that would make you lose awareness of yourself as that consciousness of existence. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
yes. Under any circumstances, we don't lose that conscious awareness of the self. Good,
That
bad, everything keeps happening with our physical body also. Surrounding, somebody will be loyal to us, somebody will try to backstab us, somebody will abuse, somebody will praise. All these things keep happening around, just
it's
like any ordinary person.
yeah, it's planet Earth, and you're dealing with humans. Very difficult. Oh,
Yes, it's always there. They won't spare even a yogi also. Nothing. Prarabdha doesn't spares. It has to happen in this world. But it's really amusing.
okay, Baba. You have time? Do we have time to take some questions?
I think so. Yeah.
Hello. Pranams, Baba.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Yes, the question I have, it came very early. Uh, so through this jungle medallion technique, right, is how we develop this witness consciousness of Astravak. So are we able to endure the parabda karmas when it surfaces and not react? And is that a time process? Because as we're learning this and meditating daily, over time we come to a point where we don't react to that surfacing of that parabda karma and the development of that witness consciousness through that you know going in that point on a daily basis.
So is this your question, or you have a question on this?
Yes, in that regard, is that basically how we develop that over time through that daily practice of that,
Yeah,
develop that witness
exactly. When you
and when the
practice
parabda karmas
just
are
watching in between eyebrows, so whatever you get to see is your prarabdha, but you don't get carried away. You are only a witness. The very thing that you get to see the world is your prarabdha. But you don't get carried away. You are only a witness.
Yeah, but sometimes that
Means
can.
you remain unaffected.
Yeah.
You remain unaffected. You are neither happy nor unhappy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, Baba, that ability to just be the silent witness, we're really practicing that in meditation. That's what the meditation is just
Yes, yes.
watching without imagining or engaging any thoughts. So we're
You are
practicing witness.
actually practicing to remain quiet. The very idea of meditation is you are practicing to remain quiet.
Namaste, Babaji.
Yeah. Yes,
So,
Clifford.
Baba, we consistently say that something that has come into existence and that has gone out of existence has no real existence value. In other words, something that is temporary has no existence value. So here's my question. In the present moment, there's no past and there's no future. And in the present moment, temporary and absolute both exist in equal status within themselves, within the self. So why do we always throw temporary out with the bathwater? I mean, even temporary has existence value in the sense that it exists in itself in the present moment when there's no future or past consideration. But we're consistently throwing temporary out. So that's my question.
You see, when an existence is there, watching that, in which way you want to define, depends on your wisdom. The apple is coming down, falling onto the earth. Which way you want to define depends on your intelligence. That's how Newton defined. Because of the gravity of the earth, it is coming down. And so many others might not have seen. Like that, when we observe, this is impermanent, appears and disappears. So that is why I tried to tell this has appearance value, not existence value. Means always it's not going to exist. It appears to be existing and you try to own it, it will disappear. This body appears to be existing, but this has only appearance value. We hold on to it. The day when it dies, you are unable to hold it anymore. This is dead. So, because of this reason, I always have tried to tell this has only appearance value, not the existence value. Whereas your real self or the space you try to hold or you don't hold, it will always be there, it will not disappear. Have you ever seen a space disappearing? Have you heard anybody telling the space disappeared? It doesn't happen. That's why that has the existence value. That is the reason I explained about the existence value and the appearance value, whether it is temporary and permanent, depending on that. Like a thing appears and disappears, we call it temporary, we don't call it permanent, depending on that. So,
But
yeah.
Isn't it true that space ultimately also is just a concept? But it's just the best explanation we can come out with for the truth of existence.
You see, to call the space as space is a concept. The name space is a concept, but not the thing that exists. That was always there. Whether you call it space, you don't call it space, it exists. Like you call God as God, or you don't want to call God as God, you just want to call it as truth, or you don't want to call anything, that is there. Like that only.
Very good explanation, Baba. Thank you.
Good.
Um,
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead, speak.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this moment.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. I have a question because I feel like it's such a force for me to take my eyes up and my mind into here. And I don't know. And then I say to myself, just relax and let it come. But it's like it's very tensed. And maybe I just sit with it and it will kind of ease me up. But I was
See,
just wondering if I do right or wrong.
one thing I understand, it doesn't comes into one direction easily, eyeballs. It moves parallelly. So
Mhm.
there is no need to force it upon. Slowly and skillfully, you have to make it to come. This happens when you just watch the front portion. Even if you are unable to locate the central point, it's no problem. When you close the eyes, whatever is visible, just watch without trying to analyze. That is what is needed. Don't analyze whether you are watching a darkness or a light. Just watch. Then, in due course of time, as the eyeballs become steady, it will start coming to one direction. That means it will come to in between eyebrows. So then you won't feel that pressure or that stress. It will be skillfully simple, and you will feel the relaxation and peace. So, like that, you practice slowly. No need to happen in overnight. Take your own time.
Thank you.
Good.
Hi, Baba. I find that every day, when I meditate, my personality keeps on changing. And I don't even know who I am anymore because I keep on changing and then I'm a new person who I'm not aware of. I mean, I don't know her. But is this what happens throughout our lives? Where do the personalities start? And I understand that my personality keeps on dying.
This personality starts by an imagination, it continues by imagining, it will not come to an end until you keep imagining.
So it will come to an end when I stop imagining, and it'll be a whole new person.
Imagination has to come to an end. Then you will know the real personality of yours that is revealed. Take care.
Anam's Babaji. There was a quote this week from His Master's Grace, and it says, "Every day when you get to face tests in life, only then your worthiness is proven." So when I read that, it's like we get to have tests. It's a benefit to us. And I assume an attitude of acceptance is important here. How does that influence our worthiness?
See, difficulties come to everybody, but a person becomes great by the fact how he or she is going to face that danger or difficulty or the trouble. Means with courage, a problem is no problem. It's okay. We will see what happens. Let us see. We will face. We will try till the last breath of life. We will try. At least when I die, I will have the satisfaction I tried. Means these are some of the points we were taught to feel courageous and to always just face it. So that is how you can achieve things.
Thank you.
Namaste, Babaji.
Yeah.
I have a very simple question. I don't know, but it's been going on in my mind. What is the difference between self-realization and enlightenment?
Enlightenment is a common word. You can become enlightened of anything. You are enlightened about this world. Though synonymously, usually it is used for self realization only, but self realization is particularly used when you realize your real self. But you are enlightened means of what you are enlightened. So that is what the difference is actually. Enlightenment is a common word, and self realization is a particular word.
Pranam Babaji.
Yeah.
So I've always loved this story of Sri Adi Shankaracharya and Lord Shiva come as the villager. And I was just wondering if Baba could tell me if there was a text or a book that this story originates or is recorded in that I could read.
Which one you are talking? Villager?
Adi Shankaracharya and Lord Shiva come as the villager with
Yeah.
the
Yes,
alcohol.
yes, yes.
The story you always tell.
Yeah.
Yes.
That comes in the biography of Adi Shankaracharya. I don't remember that
Okay.
title or writer now. As an young boy during my high school days, I had read this. That's what I remember. Maybe any of
Okay.
Adi
But it's in
Shankara's
a biography.
biography, if you try to, yeah, in the biography of Adi Shankara, it is there. If you try to find it online, you might get it.
Oh, pranams, Babaji. Thank you so much. I had a question about in the meditation instructions. So since we've heard this so many times, because Babaji has said, don't recite any mantra or word. Yet I think I find that if my mind starts to wander during the meditation, I will hear those instructions in my mind. Focus your mind and sight in between the eyebrows. I use that as it comes up, and I use that as a way to reinforce the witnessing. So it seems like it is kind of like a mantra. So I'm wondering about that.
It's okay. It's okay to use for a while
Just
and
that
then become silent again. Yes.
You had mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita during the war when Arjuna refuses to fight, uh, Lord Krishna urges him to take up the arms, and he further convinces them that the enemy force is already killed, and all he has to do is do the task of fighting the battle. So here he is asking him to surrender. Though the battlefield is such a gory scene with bloodbath, bodies, and mutilated scene, so even in a battlefield, if one has the total surrender, does it accomplish the same task of silencing the mind and not engaging the gory of war?
Yeah. So when you are facing such a situation, your mental status is what is important. Like, for example, you are fighting for dharma, for righteousness. You are defending your country. Any such thing enables to keep your mind into an exalted position. That's it becomes totally focused and remains quiet. It has no attachment to any result. Either you do it or you are dying. So both are equally acceptable. That is why that status is known as almost comes to the same like meditation, quietening the mind.
Thanks, Babaji.
Pranams, Babaji. Thank you so much. I guess I was wondering on meditation, is can it also just be sort of concentrating on almost a feeling of the self, I guess, and just trying to stay there? And if so, also, is it helpful when you kind of lose that outside of meditation to try to think of that feeling again, to remind yourself, or to think of the thought that I am actually divine, I am actually not this body, to have that thought, like to remind yourself?
Yeah. As long as you try to stick to one type of thought, that can be very helpful. Like if this is one thought, you will not allow for many other thoughts to crop up, then it is fine. When you say that I am that divine, I am not this body, then you don't say further that others are not divine. You just stick to I am divine, I am divine. Then it is helpful. It will benefit you to remain single pointed and become quiet eventually.
Okay, thank you. And a question on meditation technique. If basically to me it feels as though it's a balance of focusing with willpower, but not too much so that it doesn't force, but also relaxing and sort of surrendering. Is it true that that's sort of it's like a fine balance almost between those two?
Yes, exactly. That's what I try to teach. Remain relaxed and skillfully and slowly. Don't have to be rushing. That need not happen in one moment. Let it happen. Let it take its own time. Have that attitude. Then you will have that patience. Then you will not feel that stress also. So slowly and slowly practice will come.
Okay, thank you.
Pranav Babaji, Sudhakar Reddy.
Yes.
Babaji, what is the difference between self-realization and God realization? Is there any difference?
Same. It is same, no difference. It is the same. Whether you call it God realization or self realization is all same. When you are an individual imagined self, it is God, the ultimate truth is. So when you merge with it, it is the same one single self that exists. So thus both are same. They are no different entities.
Thank you, Babaji.
Baba, could I comment on that or ask a question?
Yeah.
You know, you can experience, people do experience entities, deities, while deep in meditation, and they could say that they had God realization, the realization of a personal God, but yet the self, the divinity, supreme God is far beyond that. Just could you clarify?
Yeah. You see, somebody comes to your home, gets to see you for 2 minutes or 5 minutes. How can they say that I had Agastya's realization? Have they realized entirely what you are? What is your temperament? What are your wisdom? What is your idea? What are you thinking in your mind? Can they tell everything? They would have just seen your physical figure, and how can they claim that they have come to know about you everything? If the one human being they are unable to know, when they claim that they saw God manifesting, how can they claim that they have become realized? They have come to know about God everything? Not at all. When they claim they have realized God, they have not realized anything at all. So, just by seeing a God's figure is not realization. The realization is that the individual imagined self must disappear. The I has to go, that has to get absorbed into the ultimate truth. Then there is no seer and seen. When there is no duality, somebody realizing another person doesn't arise at all. Even if I claim I am self realized, also, it has no meaning. It doesn't make any sense. When I am not there at all, where is the question? I am becoming self realized. So, when that is the state, so that is not the thing. Mind has to merge with the self, the individual I has to disappear, the seer and seen both has to disappear. Only one single self exists.
Thank you, Baba. Usha, sorry I cut you off too prematurely there.
Yeah, I just had another question, Babaji. I'm looking
Okay.
at Ishavasya Upanishad, I have the translation. I wanted you to comment, and I'm trying to understand it the way you would understand it. O Sun God, the divine form of Brahman, thou art the nourisher, the solitary traveler, the controller, the acquirer, and the son of Prajapati. Do remove your rays and gather your brightness so that I may be able to see or realize your divine form by your grace, and thereby realize the ultimate reality that I am the person who is present in the solar orb. That is a thing. And I was wondering, why is he saying, do remove your rays? What does he mean?
When the glare happens, too much of a light, like suddenly in front of you sun comes, you cannot see anything else. Your eyes gets totally closed. You are unable to see even in front of the headlight of a car. You are unable to see. That glare is what is mentioned here. The divine might remove and give you the divya chakshus so that you can see the divinity. Means the I may disappear and thus merge with the self so that we realize the self by overcoming the, just like you overcome the solar lights. But when you see where the solar light is falling, that object becomes visible. If you stand opposite to it, nothing is visible to you.
So why is he saying gather your brightness? Means, is he saying withdraw your rays so that it becomes single pointed, so that I can
Yes, single pointed.
so that I can see
Means,
you without seeing the other things, right? Which
yeah,
is
so that the I can merge in you without seeing anything else.
yeah, so which is what we are doing in our Jangama meditation. We are trying to get single pointed.
Exactly. That's what you are trying to do when you are just watching in between eyebrows.
There's one question, Baba, in the chat.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
Pranam Babaji, when I am meditating, I feel some sensation which flows from the center of my head to the center of my forehead to the center of my head, like something is getting released, which makes me want to be in the state for a long time, but I'm not able to maintain that state for long. Is this something that is good, or am I just overthinking?
You might be overthinking, because if you practice that should be naturally there, then you won't be able to come out easily. You will continue in that one. So just by reading or listening to some people talk, don't try to imagine any such thing. Simply see that you gather your mind in between eyebrows only. So until it doesn't get totally purified 100%, so then only you will feel that you are here. That happens only when you are ready to go to Samadhi. Just by listening to these talks or theories, one should not try to imagine that you have come here. These things doesn't happen easily. Just try to meditate and achieve total peace first. Then you can be guided to go into that state.
Okay, Baba, thank you again for a beautiful satsang and sharing all your wisdom with us. And
Thank you, and Victoria, and all of you.